So here's my problem with the divestment talk. I have no problem with it. It's just that why, when you're heading out the door, you got to vilify the other gender, that's what I don't get. If you want to leave, then leave peacefully and be happy about it. Why you got to call other people names and try to take other people with you so that you're not being alone? Yeah, and so yeah, if you want to leave, leave. And so my ex-wife, she was Japanese and Mexican, and I didn't pick her in spite of black women. It was just who was in my social circle at the time.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And there wasn't a lot of black people around, and so she was around, and she who I liked, and that's who I married. I never vilified black women on the way out, though, and that's my only problem. And second of all, too, black women always had a chance with white men. The problem is that they were doing the same thing that they were doing with us. I don't know how many of you guys all remember. So I was born in '74. I remember so many high yellow kids in the neighborhood, and there weren't that many white people around, and it was mostly darker black people. I was like, where are all these high yellow kids coming from? So they were sleeping with white men. It's just that they weren't leaving with them to go make families.
Right.
I don't know how many of you guys all noticed that back in the '80s, how many high yellow kids were running around the neighborhood.
Oh yeah, because we used to beat them up.
Well,
so you saying Q that black
They used to beat
real
them up.
quick,
I did.
let me get in here real quick. You saying that these black women were procreating with white men?
Yes, but look at the stats. So if we look at even the stats today, they show 54% of black men have no kids. So that means 46% do. But of that 46%, not all have kids with black women. So these black sisters have to be making kids with somebody else besides black men. I don't have kids with black women. I know a bunch of my friends
just covered it. We have like 30% of our children are with non-black men.
And that's my point. But they always vilify black men for being absentee fathers when in the neighborhood there were no white men around, but it was a ton of high yellow kids.
I got a question. I got a question.
But they weren't vilifying white men for not being there. They were vilifying black men.
I got a question for the brother that was just talking. So Q, so you're up here saying that when black men leave black women that have treated them horribly, there's no reason for them to vilify them. So basically, you're up here championing black women, but at the same time, you referring to light-skinned people as high yellow people?
No, what I'm making it a point because we can all visualize the difference in color. Well, I'm not vilifying them. I'm saying that they're high yellow. I didn't say anything derogative towards them. I'm just using high yellow to paint a picture of the difference so we can see that these kids weren't being made by dark-skinned black people. It has nothing to do.
Okay. So if I set up here and I said, yeah, man, you know, in the hood, what I noticed is a lot of people that was committing crime was black people. You wouldn't be offended.
If that was the case, then you'd be right. If that
would you be offended by that though? Is what I'm asking.
No. You know why? You know why, angry man? Because I can. And this is what most people get them.
Before you Negro explain, I'm offended because I'm light.
Negro explain. Okay, well, but
because I'm light skinned, and it's enough. Like it's enough of that goofy ass shit going on. Because the funny thing to me is you up here caping for black women. But at the same time, you perpetuating the same bullshit that black women perpetuate, which is colorism.
No, it's not. It's not. Let me explain to you why, angry man. My point is to identify that it's not always black men that are making these babies, and there are people from other races who are making babies.
Okay, well, just because white men
hold up, angry man, hold up, angry man, that don't mean nothing. No, angry man. My point is that if you want to divest, you don't have to say that the person that you're leaving was insufficient and that's why you're leaving. That's my point. My point is not to say that these kids are bad or the people. I'm just saying is that you don't have to say that the other gender was bad is because you're leaving.
That's not a good fucking point. I'm gonna tell you why it's not a good point. If you ate at a fucking restaurant that had an E. coli breakout, I want you to tell me about that shit.
But that's not always the case.
If you went to a restaurant, and this goes on both sides, if you went to a fucking restaurant and the restaurant was trash, and then you go to a better restaurant, what the hell is wrong with you saying that the last restaurant was trash?
But that's if you're qualifying your personal experience. If that wasn't my personal, I didn't leave because black women were treating me bad. I left. I dated out because that's what was in my social circle. So if you want to use qualifiers, then that's a different story. So in your instance, if a black woman treated you bad and that's why you left, you need to qualify that instead of saying all black women are bad. That's my only point. That's my only point.
First of all, nobody say all black women were bad. That's number one. That's
or generally speaking.
That's the first thing. That's the first thing.
Generally speaking.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I or you don't have to say anything. Didn't somebody just get through saying that black women are the least swiped on the dating app? You think it just came out of nowhere?
But
you think one day everybody just decided we gonna pick on black women?
And that's fine. But what I'm saying is, in response to her saying that her point was leaving because she saw that not anybody, the lady on the video, her point was that there was an insufficiency in black men is the reason why she's leaving. And my point was, if she wanted to leave, just leave.
No, first of all, there isn't an insufficiency. There's a shortage.
No, her perception, Angry Man, come on. We know it. That was her perception. We know it's not true. It's her perception.
Well, there's a shortage. There's a shortage of black men. That's number one. You feel what I'm saying? There's a shortage of black men. But the point that I'm trying to make is you could have said, and I could be being sensitive, but fuck it. You could have said there's a whole lot of mixed children or a whole lot of light-skinned children. You didn't have to say high yellow, bro.
I mean, you're splitting hairs. Okay.
No, I'm not.
However you want to deem it, however you want to categorize it.
Fight a dark-skinned nigga. The first thing that came out of his mouth was high yellow.
Whatever makes you feel better. That's fine.
Well, I mean,
point being is that my point is that they always had an opportunity to mate with other races, and they had been. That's my only point.
No, well, you decided
to get upset.
Wait, let me address. I did.
Yeah, that's it's not about you. It's not about you.
But see, here's the thing.
You should be able to look. You should be able to remove yourself from the conversation and look and say, you know what, he's right. There were a lot of kids being made by non-maids. You took it derogatory. And it wasn't meant that way.
Q, and you should be able to ride a unicycle and juggle. Don't mean you're gonna fucking do it.
Apples and oranges, man. Come on. Apples and oranges. Anyway,
here's the thing. No, here's the thing. You can determine what you fucking say, but you can't determine how I react to it, brother.
True. But I'm telling you correct. You are correct in that point. But what I'm telling you is that I was using it as a way to differentiate, to point to the fact that kids were being made by non-black men. Okay, I'm sorry if I offended you.
Right after you said it, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that, but I'm gonna show you how it turns into something else. Because right after you said that, my man Leon said, "Yeah, because we used to beat him up."
But Leon, I mean, come on. If you're gonna take everything Leon was talking about him being in 1939. So if you're gonna roll with everything he says, then that's perfect.
Hey, I wouldn't take that.
That's my first point.
I wouldn't take that, Leon.
So here's my point. So here's my point, guys.
Yeah. Hey, look. I think Angry Man understands what you're talking about. Maybe the terminology from autism, from retarded to autism, or whatever like that. But yeah, back in the day, and even today, we call light-skinned people high yellow. It was way back then in the day. It's a thing.
Leon, I already apologized.
Leon and white people used to call black people monkeys and still do.
Hey, Leon, angry man, just so you know, angry man, just so you know, my mom is lighter than you.
You should know better.
No, but what I'm saying is we didn't take, my family didn't take it that way. So that's why I didn't think it was a derogatory, but I do apologize. We didn't take it that way.
They didn't take it that way.
My dad was dark. My mom was super light.
No, here's the thing. Let me say this, in all honesty. Let me say this.
My dad is high yellow. My grandmother was high yellow.
Let me say this, Leon.
You're throwing wood on the fire, Leon.
In all honesty, right?
Mm-hmm.
let me point something out real quick. As a light-skinned person, culturally in the black community, we overlook stuff like that. It doesn't mean we don't have a problem with it. The reason why we overlook stuff like that is because we know that dark-skinned people catch more hell than us when it comes to their skin tone. So when y'all venting about shit about light-skinned people, a lot of times we just overlook the shit. But it don't mean we don't have a problem with it.
Okay,
I'm
but
just
I
saying.
wasn't okay. I get what you're saying, but it wasn't an event. It was just I was just sharing with you
This shit
the
fucking
state
hilarious.
of the state
Right.
of
We
the
know it's
where I
gonna be
grew up.
hilarious to your black ass because you
Yeah,
don't.
what you got, bro? Get Beans
Here's
in
what's
here.
crazy.
What you got, Beans?
I
Come on.
wasn't even listening, right? I muted this shit up. I was trying to go back and find something Crystal said so I can hold her accountable. Come back 30 minutes later, y'all still talking about this shit, man.
So what you got? You got the floor, Beans. What you got, brother?
I don't feel safe.
Well, Crystal ain't here. I can't really
Crystal
call her on no
gone. He
shit.
can't address Crystal with Crystal gone. We
Crystal
gotta
be
bring her
back
back.
here.
Oh no,
in
that's
a
okay.
few
I can
minutes.
address you then, Pick Me, because you said something about if it's 50-50, that's a partnership. So